Hey, welcome to the Mind Hacking Happiness Podcast, where we're presenting day 40 of the 45-day Mind Mastery 101. You know Friday's an easy day. You got one more week, and then you graduate, and then we'll start digging into how to increase your ability to master this content. We're not going to leave you hanging. Hope things are well. Here's day 40. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to day 40 of the 45-day Mind Hacking Happiness Mind Mastery 101. We're getting pretty close. We're going to have a couple of cool days coming up before our graduation date, but we wanted to dive just a little deeper into a topic we discussed yesterday regarding the Timetable of Forgiveness. Now, we hinted at what the timetable was yesterday and how short it can be regarding how quick forgiveness can occur. But we live human lives, and we live with a human mind. And a lot of times our human mind wants to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to forgive, slapping me in the face. I'm not going to be able to offer you up the other cheek immediately. Maybe later, but not right now. I'm going to have to sit back and think about why you hit me and what the situation is and yada, 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 rather than offer you up the second cheek to say, if you're in pain that much and you think striking me is going to relieve your pain, here, have the other one, right? How long does it take to forgive someone? And specifically, what needs to happen in the mind to forgive? Because if you remember yesterday, we talked about the offending event. The offending event is always something connected with an attack on self, something on your self map. And it can be one of the individual things. It could be a self value in general, like you suck, right? And you hold a grudge against that person and not forgive them for saying you suck. It can be, somebody hurts your child or someone you love or hurts your job in some way, and you want to hang on to that for the longest time because I don't know why. Because you think it does you good for some reason. It's okay to hold on to the memory, but don't hold on to the emotional pain associated with that and the need to hold that grudge against those folks, right? But the offending event is always something that's attached to your self map, and it starts with an imbalance in the equation of emotion we talked about yesterday, in that you are your expectation or preference is that everything on your self map be held at status quo or increased in value. It's a homeostasis thing. And then your perception comes in that this person or this event or this whatever it was did damage or became a threat or attacked my self-item thing. And then you hold a grudge regarding that event, and not forgiving it is holding on to it in memory and still replaying it in your mind over and over and over. And so it starts with an imbalance in the equation of emotion, but it lives on your self map. It lives in memory. And every time something triggers something that is associated with that, 3 or 4 links down, you replay that memory, you replay that perception in comparison to the expectation or preference, and it causes the angry emotional reaction or the frustration or the sadness or the whatever it is that you have not let go of, right? So when does forgiveness occur? All right, typically in the human mind, without mind training, forgiveness occurs when the offending party apologizes, right? And let's talk about what that is in your mind. Well, when the offending party apologizes to you and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Well, they're taking into valuation in relation to your valuation. They're taking into valuation of their self, their mind self, in comparison to your mind self, or at least how you see them versus how you see yourself, right? How you see your mind self. So when they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," they're taking into valuation. They're saying, "Oh, I suck." Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can forgive you now. Right? If they create a devaluation on your side and all of a sudden they take a devaluation on their side, that's what's going on in your mind. When they say, "I'm sorry," that's what an apology is. It is a self-deprecating act to say, "My self sucks for doing that." And then you say, "Okay, I'll forgive it." Right? But that's a mind game. That's a mind game that doesn't need to occur. And we realize that the offense was accidental sometimes, maybe. Is that a good reason to forgive someone? If somebody bumps into us and we're like, "Ouch!" And, oh yeah, that was sorry. And then we realize it was an accident. Or maybe they don't even say they're sorry and we realize it was an accident. We can forgive it. Right? If if someone cuts us off in traffic, we see that surprised look on their face when we honk the horn, like, oh, okay, well, now I can forgive it. Because it's not a slight. You're not saying to me where you're going is more important to me, or that you have more power to take my lane regardless of my being here, right? Those are slights. The reason that we get angry about people cutting us off in traffic is because we see it as a slight against ourselves. But when we see that it was an accidental occurrence, we can forgive it, because then, oh, well, it's not a real attack on me, right? That's what the mind sees. That's what the mind does with that. And so we can forgive when we perceive, when we change the perception. When the power of the perception goes down, the power of the emotional reaction goes down, and we can forgive the infraction. Or the third one on the right. We simply let it go after a point of exhaustion. We let the slight go. We let the offense go. We let the event, whatever it is. We're just like, I'm done. I'm done feeling bad about that. That was an unfortunate incident. I forgive you for it. Let's move on, right? After a certain amount of time, you could just simply be exhausted of the emotional responses. And so what you're doing there is you're removing it from your self-map. And if you're removing it from your self-map, you're removing it from the expectation or preference list. And if you're removing it from the expectation or preference list because it's no longer on your self-map, guess what? That's an incomplete equation of emotion. And what happens when there's an incomplete equation of emotion? No emotional reaction anymore. When you have something on your self-map but you don't have a perception, no emotional reaction. When you don't have something in your EP but you have a perception about it, like who won the Canadian lacrosse high school championships, I don't give a shit. I can find out who did, I don't care. No emotional reaction. I don't even know if they play lacrosse up there in Canada. You do? I love you guys. Hope you win. But you get it, right? When you take something off the equation of emotion, or take something off your self-map, it no longer has an EP, and if it no longer has an EP, you can't have an emotional reaction about it. And that is basically forgiveness, right? When you let go of that thing, and it's no longer a portion of your sense of self, that's forgiveness. A lot of times your mind will put up hurdles in front of you and make you jump through a whole bunch of hoops before it allows you to take something off your self-map. Or you can be a master of your mind and say, you know what? We're done with that. And be done with it. So who controls your self-map? Because the offending event is an attachment you're holding on to, right? It's that time when. It's that memory. It's that emotional reaction. So do you really need all these things? Do you really need the offending party to apologize? Do you really need to realize that the offense was accidental even if it wasn't? Do you need to simply let go after a point of exhaustion and hold on for a year or 2 years or a week or 2 weeks or however long of being mad? Do you have to? No. You don't. And it's that simple. Step 1, see your reaction of holding the grudge of something you need to forgive as optional. Your taking offense is a process of your mind. You can change your EP, you can change your P, right? You can change things on your self-map. You can change the perception of how you see things. You can start to see other people as the victim, like everything that if from a certain standpoint, everything that anyone could ever do to you, they would be doing to you as a victim of their own mind because they don't have control of their mind. And so that you could step into a position of compassion to say, wow, it sucks to be you, that you're controlled by your mind, that you just slapped me in the face. But if it helps you by slapping me in the face, here, take the other cheek also. You might know someone who tried to teach us that lesson. Just saying. Right? Your awareness can see the whole thing for the illusion that it is. It's just a process of your mind, and you are not your mind. You have a mind. They have a mind, and they're caught up in the fact that they are their mind, and they're reacting in the way that their mind wants them to. But are they really their mind? No. They're not really their mind. You're not your mind. Don't get caught up in the whole illusion. They may be taking action because they're caught up in the illusion. You don't have to get caught up in their illusion. You don't. Change it. Step 2. We hinted at this just a few minutes ago. But step 2 is apply compassion. They are the victim of their mind's processes. Know that. Believe that. Live that way. Your awareness, you can see inside their mind. You can see what is going on within them, or maybe you can't, but you know what the basic process is, that they have taken the action that they have taken against you for whatever reason or whatever event that they have caused. It's all because they're a victim of their mind. Don't hold them to the fire for that. You were a victim of your mind 60 days ago. So don't judge. Be compassionate for them. Feel pity for them. Feel sorry that they're a victim of their own mind, and forgive them of being a victim of their own mind, by the way. Because that's really where your forgiveness can come from. You don't forgive that they took action against you, or an illusionary mind self definition in your head that isn't really you. You can forgive them of being a victim of their own mind. And that's really where forgiveness gets really powerful and really easy. When you practice a number of hours of controlling your mind and being a master of your mind, and then you're able to see other people as a victim of their own minds, ooh, man, you want to talk about power. Personal power? Yeah. Being able to see the world extremely clearly, with a granular clarity of exactly what's going on in the minds of the people around you. I can look into a whole restaurant of people with hundreds of people sitting at tables and know exactly why everyone is taking every action that they take. That's clarity. You can get there. And it's easy to forgive when you do. Forgiving becomes very easy. You just don't let things attach to your self-map. You don't take it personally, because it's a slight against your mind's self. It's not really you. Your awareness is something else. Your awareness is separated from your mind's self, as we've exhibited to you over the last 40 days. You now have experienced that a number of times, where you know your mind's processes isn't you. It's something you have as part of your meat suit, but it's not something that's you. Your awareness is beyond that. Your awareness is separated from that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see your mind. You know that. So forgive slights against your mind's self. It's easy. Just take it off your self map. Why wait? Forgiveness happens only now, even if it's just a future now. So why not just make it this now? Right now. Forgive the crap that's happening in your past. You'd be amazed at how well life can become an amazing adventure if you're not carrying around the baggage from the past. How much faster you can move through your life without the baggage. Just imagine how fast you'd be able to move through an airport without baggage. Woo-wee. Step onto the plane, you're on whatever's next. All right? Your stuff magically appears when you get off the plane on the other side. It's just there folded for you in your hotel room and or in your beach suite. Brand new clothes that are perfect for you. That's how life is. That's how life can be if you just dump your mental baggage of the stuff you need to forgive. Just forgive. Forgive it all. And it's that easy to do. The timetable of forgiveness is always now. It's always now. Whether it's a future now that your brain says you have to jump through a bunch of hoops and get an apology and yada, 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 and wait for a certain amount of time and wait until it's not so fresh. Bullshit. Bullshit. The timetable of forgiveness is always now. Forgive everything that you need to forgive from your past. Everything. Don't hold on to anything. Forgive it all. Flush it out. You'll be amazed at how great it feels. Forgiving is an act of strength. You certainly need strength, but that's why forgiveness is empowering. Forgiveness and flushing your self-map of old debts, of needs for apologies and rectification and things like that. Man, such an empowering act. But it requires strength of mind, but it's good because you have that strength of mind now. And there is no question that you will be able to forgive everything on your self map in your life, simply by making the decision to do so. Okay, so homework. Again, if you want to help someone, if you want to have an act of compassion, if you want to help other people get into control of their mind and understanding of their mind and get them higher clarity so that they can get their life in order, because taking control of the mind simply allows that to happen, share this course with them. Suggest this program. And for the next couple of days before our day 41, we're going to take a 2-day break again, just as we have done at the end of every 5 days. Meditate for 20 minutes 2 times for the next 2 days. Practice. Remember, practice. It's important. Plasticity doesn't occur unless you actually do the stuff. You can't get better at crossword puzzles without practicing crossword puzzles. You can't get better at piano without practicing piano. You can't get better at mind mastery without practicing mind mastery and practicing meta-awareness and practicing things like meditation. Taking yourself out of the default mode network, putting yourself into the task mode network. Do it. I'll see you in a couple days.